Hi, this is Aharon Dubinsky coming to you today from the Chut Shel Chesed Yeshiva in the holy city of Yerushalayim, Israel, under the direction of our beloved rabbi and spiritual guide, Rabbi Shalom Arush. May Hashem bless him always. There's one thing that we teach at this yeshiva, and it comes from the top, and it comes from Rav Shalom. And everything is geared to this one teaching. And everything that he teaches to Rav Brody is geared to this one teaching. And everything Rav Brody teaches to me is geared to this one teaching. And everything that they teach comes from Rabbeinu. Comes from Rabbi Nachman ben Fegi. And from him, before him, it comes from the Arizal, and Moshe Rabbeinu, and then from there comes from Hashem. One thing, absolutely, positively, the most pervasive thing that we teach here is Emuna. And obviously, Emuna is really a simple concept. It truly is a simple concept. You can tell what Emuna is. You can define it. You can put it into words. What is Emuna? Emuna is faith in things that you may not be able to rationally deal with because they are not of a tangible physical nature, or there's something that's so great you cannot wrap your brain around it because it's just bigger than what your brain can handle. It's just more than what you can do. This is what we do. So even though Emuna is a simple concept, it is anything but easy. It requires all of our work, all of our time, our total concentration from sunup to sundown, from weekday to weekend, all the years without any breaks, because it is something we need to constantly work on. And this week's Parsha gives us some examples, some terrific examples. I don't usually go to the Parsha Shavua, but I'm going to do it this week because there's excellent examples in here. This week's Parsha is Hukas. It's about chuk. A chuk. A chuk is a law. It's a commandment that we don't necessarily understand. And this week's command is about the para aduma, the red heifer. And it tells us the red heifer must be of a certain configuration, only red, no white. It never has to have a yoke around it. It goes into great detail what it must be. And when we find this absolutely perfect specimen, what do we do with it? Well, we take it outside the camp and we kill it and burn it up. Now, this part is getting into the area of why would we do it with something that is so perfect? But that's not the question here. Why does this process of making the waters from the paraduma, from the ashes of the paraduma, make someone impure, when on the other side, the whole purpose of doing this is to mix these ashes with the water to sprinkle on somebody to make them pure again? Now, if you're not of a very high madrega, which I'm not, I'm afraid, this is going to be something that's going to test your brain. You're not going to be able to figure out something that the sages have been speaking about for millennia. It's just too hard to figure out. So, why do we accept it? Come on, you know the answer. The word begins with an E and it ends with an A. Emuna. Emuna. Because we understand if Hashem put it in Torah and we're commanded to do this, the only way we would do it is because we have total and complete faith in the fact that there's a reason for this, and even though we don't get it, HaKadosh Baruch Hu, He gets it. That's why He put it there. Emuna is what drives us from one thing to the next thing to the next. It answers questions for us that we cannot answer on any other way. Why did this tragedy happen? Why did this illness happen? Why did I have to take such a bad problem in my business? Why are my children not on the derech? Why don't they speak to me? What's the matter with me? Why does this happen to me? What can I do? Well, first of all, you're asking the wrong questions. It's not why did this happen to you. What can you learn from this? What is in each of these things for you to learn? Not why did this happen to me. That's a victim mentality. And there's no place for a victim mentality in the world of Emuna. In Emuna, we believe everything happens, as the Rambam said, it all is, was, and ever will be comes from HaKadosh Baruch Hu. And since he would never waste his time doing something that had no purpose, obviously it all has a purpose. And since he's our Father, my Father, yours, our children's Father, our parents' Father, he's Father to all of humanity, why would he do anything that would not be in our best interest? Any more than you would do anything that's not in the best interest of your children. So we have this Emuna. And it takes us to places where we couldn't go otherwise because we don't have the brain power sometimes to understand these things. I'm often asked by people, Rabbi, what can I do about this? What should I do about this? Why would Hashem want me to do this? And my answer is almost always the same. I'll give you an answer. I'll be glad to give you an answer. It's going to come from the best of what I know, the best of what I've learned, the best of what my teachers have taught me. But it's not going to be the answer. There's only one who has the answer. And you can ask him, and he will give it to you. Because Torah tells us that before Hashem gives you any challenge, he's already created the solution. So he has a solution. Why are you asking me? Ask him. He'll give you the solution. Oh, I speak. I do Hibbodedut all the time, but he never answers me back. Do you ask him questions? Of course I do. Do you wait for an answer? Well, no, I'm supposed to speak for an hour, right? No, you're supposed to communicate with Hashem for an hour. You can ask a question, and you can give him time to answer. And even if the answer is not forthcoming immediately, along the way the answer will come to you. No, the clouds will not part, and then a voice comes down from heaven, but the answer will nonetheless come to you. You will know what you need to do. You will know what you need to change. It may not be the answer you expect. It may not be the answer you're hoping for, but it's the answer. And that, by the way, my friends, is how we increase our Emuna, our Hibbodedut, talking to Hashem every day. How do I explain to someone how important it is to speak with Hashem in your own words, from your own heart, every single day? That it creates a bond that you cannot create in any other way. It's a bond between you and your Creator. So that when you come to talk to him and you do have a challenge, he knows who you are because you speak to him all the time. You're not just somebody who comes around when you want something. You speak to him all the time. You tell him your dreams. You tell him your heart's desires. You share with him your challenges and ask for his help and his wisdom in guiding you and give you the right way to do what you need to do in your life. It's a feeling that you cannot understand until you do it. So why not try starting to do it immediately? Now, the interesting thing about Emuna and Hibbodedut is no matter how high of a madrega you reach, still, you will always have challenges that you will not be able to overcome. And a good example of that is, again, in this week's Parsha. When Miriam, the prophetess, was niftar, the water stopped coming out of the rock. The well of Miriam literally disappeared back into the other rocks. Now, Hashem heard the cry of the people for water. And he told Moshe, talk to the rock and it'll bring forth water. Now, Moshe Rabbeinu, how high of a madrega is he? The humblest man ever to walk on the face of the earth, brought the people out of Egypt with Hashem's help, guided them for 40 years in the desert. I mean, this is a high madrega. This man is so high you can hardly see where he is. And yet, what did he do? He hit the rock. He didn't talk to it. Well, I won't say he didn't talk to it, but the Torah tells us he hit the rock. Not once, but twice. Because that's what he did before, and that's what worked before. And even Moshe Rabbeinu, as high of a madrega as he was on, as high as a level as he reached, perhaps could not realize in his mind that you could talk to a rock and it would do whatever you said, because it wasn't talking to the rock and the rock doing what you said. It was talking to a rock and Hashem doing what you said. Now, in all fairness, the rock, again, disappeared into a bunch of other rocks. And so there were actually two reasons Hashem wanted him to speak to the rock, not hit the rock. One, throughout the whole process of Yetziat Mitzrayim, this stick was used to make snakes, to bring forth blood, to bring forth lice, to bring forth all the different plagues. And Hashem was concerned that the people might think, it's a magic stick. What will happen if the stick disappears? I mean, just last week we had a thing with a stick. All the heads of the tribes brought in their staffs, and only the one from Aaron HaKohen bore fruit, almonds and flowers and leaves. So, again, the people's mind is to magic sticks, but there aren't magic sticks. There's Hashem. And Hashem is the one responsible for the miracles. And he wanted to show, first of all, it's not the stick, it's me. You ask the rock will give you water. According to some of our sages, it says he did talk to the rock and nothing came forth. So he hit it, and a few drops came forth. And he hit it again, and the water gushed out. But the fact is, how did he know which rock to talk to? The rock just disappeared into a whole bunch of other rocks. And there it was. He's looking at a wall full of rocks. Which one do I speak to? The answer is simple. You're really not speaking to the rock. You're speaking to HaKadosh Baruch Hu. And you don't need to worry which one it is, because he knows which one it is. And he will make that will of Miriam give forth water as it always gave forth water. Even Moshe Rabbeinu was challenged by Emuna. So is it any surprise that all of us can be challenged by it? Of course not. So all we need to do is we need to work on it. How do we work on it? Hit Bodadut. Every day. Every day. Every day. And still, we will find ourselves lacking in total understanding. But we will be getting closer and closer and closer and closer to the point where we're working on our own personal redemption, our own personal geula, which will bring the final redemption, the building of the third Mikdash, and the coming of Mashiach Tzidkenu Bimheira B'Yomeinu. Have a great week, my friends. Be well. All the best.